Number 10. Call of Cthulhu.
Such a short and limited future.
Many games on this list are inspired by the work of H.P. Lovecraft, but Call of Cthulhu is the only game on here that is a direct adaptation of his work, played in first-person perspective, and it employs a sanity mechanic triggered by viewing grotesque imagery. A narrator also chronicles the events as they unfold, and it's one of many games on this list that leave your character helpless for much of the game. Call of Cthulhu takes its time building up a serious amount of tension before unleashing the horrors. Number 9. Outlast. Combining atmosphere with helplessness, Outlast provides some of the most recent scares in gaming. The dilapidated, blood-stained walls of Mount Massive linger in the minds of its visitors long after the terror is over. If not for an over-reliance on jump scares, it might have made it higher on the list. Number 8. Amnesia, The Dark Descent. In many ways, Amnesia, The Dark Descent has rebranded survival horror. Achieving a cult following, this game puts you in the shoes of a man named Daniel, with no memory and no weapons, trying to stave off an ancient evil inside of an old castle, while trying to keep his sanity intact. Its classic Lovecraftian chills and scares will long be remembered as some of the best in all of gaming. Number 7. Dark Souls. While not scary in the most traditional sense, hopping from bonfire to bonfire in Dark Souls proves to be incredibly tense, since death means possibly losing hard-earned currency in the form of souls used to level up and purchase items. Navigating this bleak and unforgiving world filled with some of the most horrific and grotesque creatures ever to be featured in games certainly makes it look the part of a horror title as well. Number 6. Fatal Frame 2. While many horror games focus on mutants and monsters, Fatal Frame 2 has more ethereal adversaries. Playing as a young girl with a camera doesn't exactly inspire confidence in your defensive abilities, while traversing the truly creepy haunted village that the game takes place in. Luckily, your camera is useful for more than taking selfies, if you can calm your nerves long enough to use it, that is. Number 5. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Silicon Knight's foray into the horror genre with the GameCube exclusive Eternal Darkness was a memorable and successful one, channeling both Lovecraft's fixation on sanity and ancient evil, as well as the original Resident Evil Mansion setting. The sanity mechanic was perhaps the biggest standout element of Eternal Darkness. Enemies could drain your sanity, resulting in a number of devious effects. Also noteworthy are the diverse locations and time periods which the plot unfolds over.
May the darkness claim chaos and damn beast. No longer will thy reign be kept over the ancients you have kept in prison. Thou hast seen the last of this world.
Number 4. Dead Space.
I want to talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could.
Capturing the isolation of Ridley Scott's sci-fi classic Alien, while providing the gore-soaked atmosphere of a slasher film, Dead Space is one of the biggest standout survival horror games of this generation. Dismembering your foes before being slashed, stabbed, decapitated, or eviscerated on board the Ishimura, while trying to uncover the mystery of what happened, is a memorable and chilling experience.
Our race ends here. Allow me to introduce you to humanity's child, the children of our greatest creation.
Number 3. Slender, the 8 Pages. This free-to-play title is not very pretty, nor is it very complex, but it is unequivocally one of the most tense experiences in recent gaming memory. Collecting 8 pages that randomly spawn in an open environment while the eponymous Slenderman stalks your character gives gamers a taste of what it must be like to be trapped in a slasher film and pursued by an unstoppable killing machine. Number 2. Silent Hill 2. Konami proved that it had the goods to compete with Capcom's survival horror juggernaut with Silent Hill, and its sequel is one of the greatest in the genre. Your journey into the foggy streets of Silent Hill is marked by visual metaphors as the town becomes a reflection of your character's fractured psyche. Adding to the horror is the introduction of Pyramid Head, the most iconic nemesis of the franchise. Number 1. Resident Evil Remake.
We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into a nightmare.
Capcom's remake of their own landmark survival horror game proved to be one of the most difficult entries in the franchise, and one of the most terrifying. Whether or not you played the original title, new surprises lurked around every corner. The immortal Crimson Heads were among the most fiendish additions to the Spencer Mansion, and the overhauled graphics are among the most beautiful and atmospheric seen on the GameCube. Honorable mentions: Sweet Home. Sweet Home was a Japanese-only release on the Famicom. This horror RPG was immensely influential in the creation of Resident Evil, a little less than a decade later. Alone in the Dark. While Resident Evil popularized survival horror, Alone in the Dark is the first example of what we have come to know as survival horror. Condemned: Criminal Origins. Condemned was a unique launch title for the Xbox 360 that was one part CSI and one part Silence of the Lambs. Its emphasis on first-person melee combat meant getting up close and personal with the psychos that populated the game world, not something for the faint of heart.